So welcome everyone to the Amat's 4th Annual Winter Principals Retreat. Michelle, Tippy, and I are really excited to greet you in sunny Florida. For those of you who haven't met us yet, allow me to share a little history with you about Amat's. Much better, thank you. Okay, we started Amat's 9 years ago, and we strive to partner with principals and educators and provide training to reach, connect, and engage students emotionally, intellectually, and spiritually. Amat's events and projects provide a space for educators like you to clearly define what their goals are for their students and further solidify their commitment to develop each Yiddish Neshama. Our tefillah is that our girls will always be cognizant of their connection to the Rebbeinu Shalom, always radiating their divine essence from within. I know I can safely say that the three of us, each of us from our vantage point, have been in a position to deal with many, many young, beautiful Benos Yisrael, both single and married, Baruch Hashem, and we see with great angst the challenges we're all facing as parents, as machanchos, as we attempt to transmit our Masorah in an authentic and genuine way to the next generation. And it was from that common desire that we became determined to provide amazing experiences to women like you, who we respect and admire, the machanchos and menahalos of Rabbi Yaakov schools. We at Amat's recognize your hard work, and we want to express our tremendous hafaras to you, all of you, for giving all of your hard time and effort to our Benos Yisrael. It's only because of your tremendous dedication and mesiras nefesh that our schools have been able to continue. This really is a labor of love for Tippy, Michelle, and I. It's something that we talk about, we dream about, we think about, and we've been thinking all along, what's the next step that we can handle? So we have a very vibrant, many of you know each other from our very vibrant WhatsApp chat, which has over 200 principals on it. And our members share best practices and information with each other. On a regular day, you can hear and see questions and discussions related to topics anywhere from production to seminary acceptance, report cards, parental issues, tests, skill mastery, struggling students, you name it. The resource is a very powerful one which connects so many women in real time. But many women are not on it yet, and so we need to have live events. And we have Baruch Hashem taken over 50 school principals on 2 missions to Eretz Yisrael. Many of you know we have been working on another mission to Eretz Yisrael. Hopefully it will be coming through within the next year. We have run winter and summer retreats. If you've been on a previous retreat of ours, please raise your hand. Yeah, beautiful. And we have an exciting new curriculum on Sheish Mitzvahs Tmidios. It's based on a modality of project-based learning. It's being taught in quite a few schools now, and we're very excited about it. We're very excited about it, and if it's something that speaks to you, we would like to speak to you over the course of the next few days. Our topic here now is community. So first I want to say that we at Amat's are a community. We are a community of principals and educators and people who care about Klal Yisrael. And your role as principals puts you in a position to create community. You lead a community of teachers, a community of students, and your efforts have long-lasting effects on the young women who will in turn leave your schools and become active members of our community at large. Some of you come from communities that are very clearly defined, and others come from a broader-based community. All of us have our own beautiful minhagim, social mores, values that are carried out in our communities. The topic of community is huge and multifaceted, but we wanted to tackle it from within. How do you define your community? As principals, you each have the ability to create this sense of community, both among your teachers and your students. Your teachers really are a community in and of themselves. Your students are a community in and of themselves. But together, they create a larger community, which is then part of the greater community of your city, your country, Klal Yisrael. We all have Rabbanim and Das Torah that helps us define the parameters of our communities. But we would hope that one of our goals as educators is to create a sense in each of your Talmidos and Talmidot that they are valuable members of the community of Klal Yisrael. How are you able to do that? And do you know if you are achieving that? Albert Einstein was once traveling on a train from Princeton, and the conductor came down the aisle asking everyone for their tickets so he could stamp them. And as he approached Professor Einstein, he saw him searching in his pocket furiously for his ticket. And he said, "It's okay, Professor Einstein, I know who you are, and I'm sure you bought a ticket, so don't worry about it." And as he proceeded to continue down the aisle, he noticed out of the corner of his eye that Professor Einstein was now on his hands and knees looking for the ticket. And he reassured him, and he said, "It's okay, Professor Einstein, I know who you are." And Professor Einstein replied, "I also know who I am, but I don't know where I'm going." Kol Yisrael arevim zeh lazeh. We are all responsible for each other. You, more than anyone else, knows what that means. You take responsibility for so many people. This concept of arevos is a basic one in Yiddishkeit, and it stems from our need to be connected to each other. As we heard expressed so beautifully on our summer retreat by Rabbi Danishevsky, and if you didn't hear his talk, I encourage you to listen to it on our website. The need for all of us to connect to people is a central need that is embedded in each and every human being. We're all wired to need vibrant connection and relationships. Human relationships are a basic need, along with food, safety, shelter. We all need to feel that we are cared for, that we belong somewhere, that we're good enough, that we have potential, that our voice matters, that our existence matters, that our feelings and needs are important, that we are important. In essence, we all need to feel seen and known and valuable, accepted and worthy. This does not only apply to your Talmidos. This applies to each and every one of you. It applies to each and every one of us. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu, in his great wisdom, implanted this in our Torah, in the wisdom of our halacha. As adults, we may become physically independent, but we need relationships. We need the human-to-human relationship, parent to child, friend to friend, spouse to spouse, teacher to student. Yiddishkeit takes this into account with the construct of community. How do we see it in halacha? One of the malachos on Shabbos is that it's usher to carry from one rishus to another. We can't carry from a rishus hayachid, from a private domain, to a rishus hayrabbin, to a public domain. So the Rabbanim developed a solution called an Eruv. Do you hear the shoresh of Arevos? Eruv. This Eruv, this relatively unnoticeable enclosure, surrounds the entirety of the neighborhood, so as to transform all the different types of rishus, all the different varieties of domains, into one private domain, one rishus hayachid. By making them one rishus, carrying is permitted because it's no longer seen as a transfer from one domain to the other. Now it is seen as if everybody is in the same private domain. It's like moving from one room in your house to another. This little point of halacha, which is really not little and not simple at all, addresses our need that we need to be able to live together and be attached to each other. And it's the bedrock of our need for community. Because though we all need and want to connect to each other, what we're really ultimately searching for is the ultimate connection to the Ribbono Shel Olam. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is here with us. The three of us have seen such tremendous siyata d'shmaya in arranging the myriad of different elements that needed to put this project together, from the funding to the itinerary to the elite class of participants. This collaboration has taken off Lamala min hateva, above nature, as only HaKadosh Baruch Hu could do. Today is day 492 of the war. 492 days that our hostages have been in captivity. Our community at large is at war. We will be saying Tehillim for our brothers and sisters in Eretz Yisrael and around the world who all need our tefillos. We are sending our collective heartfelt tefillos and deepest bakashos that HaKadosh Baruch Hu should bring peace to Yidden all over the world, but in particular in Eretz Yisrael, and bring all of the hostages home in good health. May the learning and insights and connections that are gleaned here be a schus for each and every one of us. We pray that we will have siyata d'shmaya, and that the efforts that were put into this program will be realized, and that there will be a positive and fruitful outcome. We can't get to know each and every one of you, and we are here to ensure that every necessity of yours is taken care of. Tippy and Michelle and I would like to welcome Bela Frankel and Bracha Semegabio as part of our team. And you can come to any of us if you have any issues. Please, we would like to be at your service. We'd like to make this event a meaningful one for you, an insightful one for you, and one where you're going to be able to connect to each other and ultimately connect to HaKadosh Baruch Hu.